Okay, we are so back. If you don't know me, my name is Bringwin, pronounced she, her, hers. I'm a filmmaker based in Dallas, Texas, where I specialize in being a first assistant director and a video producer. But before I was a first assistant director and producer, I was actually a production assistant on the set of Iron Lung for Markiplier. You might have seen my name or my picture in the credits, which is super awesome. So I just wanted to talk about my experience being crew on Iron Lung and how being on Iron Lung affected my entire experience, not just as a first AD and a filmmaker, but like how it has completely lifted my expectations for treating others and how I go about life in general. And I'm not gonna lie, this is probably going to be the most candid video that I ever make just because I love this set so much, and I don't know, I just got super duper lucky on it. I'm not gonna lie, when I first told people that I worked on the set, no one believed me. So real quick, my credentials. So this is one of the wrap gifts from Iron Lung. This was made by our head of special effects. You can even see like the back right here. Like this is one of the magnets that he made, and I was just so thrilled that I got one because I didn't think I was gonna get one because one, I joined the crew a little late, and two, I was like just a PA, so I didn't think I was gonna get one, but like I guess they liked me enough to be able to give me one. Additionally, these are what the backs of the shirts look like. It basically has like the giant like monster on the back, and then it says Austin, Texas, 2023, which is when and where we filmed the feature. And then additionally, I don't think anyone like actually has shown this in the BTS yet. Maybe by the time this video gets out, people have talked about it. As crew on set, we also got these jumpsuits, and I still have the tags on it because I never actually wore it. Every crew member got white jumpsuits, so that way, like if we got any blood on it, it would just stain our white jumpsuits, and that was super duper cool. Because it was like you created your own memory from it based on like how you worked on set. I didn't work directly with the blood, so like mine doesn't have any stains on it either, and I got mine late, but it's like, it's whatever. Credentials aside, for context, when I joined the set of Iron Lung, I was freshly graduated from the University of Texas at Arlington with a Bachelor's of Fine Arts in film and video production, aka cinematic arts is what they call it now. And the way that I actually got into this set is through the producer Adrian Testelin. So Adrian is actually an alumni from the University of Texas at Arlington, and I had met him during like one of our networking opportunities, and then I ended up being the only one to actually reach out to him and like chat with him outside of class. I actually think I sent him like a SpongeBob meme, but one day out of the blue after that, he had texted me an offer, and he was like, it's for this YouTuber named Markiplier down in Austin. You're gonna be here for like maybe a month or two. Here's the rate. Are you in? I was like, wow, Markiplier. Yeah, we're in. Like at the time, I had watched a couple of his videos, but I hadn't necessarily like grown up with him. Next thing I knew, I was on set working as a crafty PA. So I basically moved down to Austin for 3 months while we were shooting this, and I joined about a month late. And also for context, I was, I think, the third crafty PA. And so when I had joined the crew, I was like obviously very lost, didn't really know who my supervisor was supposed to be, had zero clue. I think my first week on set, everyone kind of held me at an arm's length just because like I was the third crafty PA and they didn't really know if I was going to end up staying or not. The first week I even had a couple crew members ask me like, are you here for real? And I was like, I plan on staying, like I don't know. And they were like, I don't know, sometimes when people meet Markiplier they go a little crazy. And I was like, I don't think I will have that problem. And then the crew ended up finding me very charming. What can I say? They all love being around me. It was the first time I was ever called bubbly. I had never been called bubbly until then, but now I think I'm just kind of like embracing like the bubbliness of my personality. I don't know. And kind of like on that note, I feel like a lot of people who have been on the crew and then were like kind of speaking about the behind the scenes of like the set have all mentioned like how well taken care of everyone was on set. As the crafty PA, I could see firsthand how I was a direct support of that. For those who don't know what a crafty PA does, a crafty PA is basically like the production assistant that is in charge of handling all the crafty on set. And crafty is basically like all of these snacks, the drinks. Me and my supervisor, Kevin Simon, who were in charge of crafty. My supervisor, Kevin, was super duper hard on me at first. Again, I was the third crafty PA and he didn't know if I was sticking around or not. And he was like, listen, like I need you to learn really, really fast. Like, and I was already kind of messing up in the first like day or two. He was like, I need you to work really, really fast. I need you to like basically just like learn everything so that way we can be as efficient as possible and I'm not waiting behind for you. He essentially told me, if you aren't being efficient enough and you can't keep up, we are going to replace you. And I was like, okay, bet. Give me a week so I can get used to the flow and we'll be good. And he was like, a week. And I was like, yeah, give me a week. He didn't believe me, and then a week came and went, and what do you know? And honestly, like even though being a crafty PA is technically like on the lower rung, I had such an amazing time just getting to know everyone like on set, because arguably my role allowed me to meet everyone as much as possible. Like I was constantly going back and forth between so many departments, because one thing that we did as crafty is we would basically make little snacks for the crew throughout the day. So meal times are about every 6 hours, and then snacks are kind of like anytime in between. So I was like basically like kind of gathering like little snacks for people. Like we would make like either like granola or oat cups, or maybe we would make like little yogurt cups, or sometimes we like blended little smoothies or like little espresso drinks for the crew. And then I would go out with a big platter to like basically like offer it to people. And while I did that, I got to like basically just talk to everyone and like yap to everyone. If they were stressed out, I could also basically kind of be a little therapist. Kevin actually told me once, he was like, it's a good thing you're my assistant, because I tried going out there once to give everyone snacks and I think I just look like an asshole or something, but you just look very like friendly and welcoming and people like to talk to you. I don't know. I thought that was like so funny, but I really enjoyed getting to know the crew and getting to know like what everyone's like dietary restrictions and everything were, what allergies people had. And as crafty, or just like as a PA in general, when you make the time and effort to get to know people and get to know what their preferences are, it literally makes all the difference. People will feel so appreciated when you just learn the small little details about them. Like, but right off the bat, David, the creator of the game, he is gluten-free and we can't do any cross-contamination because he's celiac, right? Jeff, who is one of the producers, he is vegan. So always had to make sure we had like vegan things on hand. We also had people on the camera department. Keishla loves taro milk tea, and we actually had her birthday on set and we got her taro milk tea to make her day. Larissa, who is a script supervisor, and Amy, who is the creative director and Mark's wife, they both loved having like these like little like I guess like shots every morning before they actually worked. And they're like kind of like little like probiotic shots almost, like citrusy shots that you would like get from HEB or something like that. Isaac, the first AD, loves yerbs, so we always got him a yerba mate. Brewed is fine, but his like twin brother preferred it if it was straight from the can. But so Isaac loves yerbs, and then he also likes like cuties, but he only would eat it if you peeled it for him. So like just like little things like that, like small little details, just make everyone feel super duper appreciated. And you very quickly got to like remember like what everyone prefers. So the crew was like very, very well taken care of, and everyone was just so like nice to each other. The next thing that I kind of wanted to talk about that like changed the entire way I go about filmmaking is I can't express how great of a leader Mark is. From watching his videos, I already knew that he is someone who is just like very kind, very genuine, very like honest, but like when I met him on set, I was so surprised with how down to earth he is. Again, I joined the crew a little late, and so I don't think I actually met Mark until like maybe my second or third day, just because the first 2 days were so busy. When I introduced myself, he made the effort to like remember my name. I don't know, like I was so surprised. Mark is just so polite, so kind. He like every day he would say good morning to everyone, and then he would always be like the last one to leave. Yeah, he was just such a kind leader who made the effort to really know and appreciate everyone on his crew. With this also being his debut as a director, I think he also really wanted to trust everyone on his crew. I've been on sets where directors will like very much helicopter, or they really want to have like their hand in everything. Or I've been on set where some directors are very hands off and nothing like ever really has a sense of direction. But Mark was a good mix of like both. And so by the end of shooting, it really felt like we were all one in the blood. He took everyone's suggestions like very beautifully. He was so humble. He knew what he wanted, and then he just trusted his crew to be able to make that magic happen. I guess like my takeaway from that is, as a filmmaker, and especially as a first AD and a producer, whenever I'm picking crew, I like to handpick my crew. I don't necessarily choose the same exact crew every single time. Sometimes if I'm bringing on someone new, I like to actually sit down with them and have a nice conversation with them just to kind of know their vibe. But I really prioritize my ability to trust in my crew to make things happen and the ability to get along with them, because I would never want to be on a set where your crew hates each other and they don't want to work towards the same goal. So seeing Mark on set really proved to me that he went into it with the mindset of, if you put your trust into your crew, they're going to trust you. And that's just something that I think about every single day when I'm on set, is I hope I show so much trust in the crew that I work with that they really want to put their trust in me. And it's that mutual respect that makes a crew feel really efficient and like a safe grounding space. It even bleeds into how the crew is with one another. As a crew member, you have a level of trust between all the other departments as well to be able to guide yourselves into Mark's vision. And so just like the crew was just so kind to each other. And I've been on super huge productions. This is the second feature that I've like worked on, and I've worked on like really like large corporate scale, or like I've worked for like huge festivals and like events and stuff like that. And I will have to say, like, this has been my favorite crew where I have seen conflict handled so gracefully. I'm not saying that this is my favorite crew of all time, but I'm just saying like the way that the crew spoke to each other has a level of like kindness and empathy that I just have not seen anywhere else. And it is amazing to see how much communication was on set. It was so, like, the crew was just so warm to each other. If someone was going through a hard time, like, others would be very quick to like check up on them to see like what they needed, how they could support each other, so that way the work still got done, but it wasn't done in a way that overwhelmed that crew member. I can't explain it. There was virtually zero drama on set from what I could tell, and I kind of had like ears in every single department. But there are sometimes like moments on production where something doesn't work out as planned, or someone's maybe just having a bad day, or like something was miscommunicated. Everyone had a level of communication that was very mature, and very sensitive. So it was very easy to be vulnerable on set because you were in a safe space. Arguments never sounded like arguments, they only sounded like conversations. And that's just something that I really appreciate, not just like as a professional in the film industry, but as I grow and become more of an adult, is it's having that grace and empathy in communication styles is something that I really much appreciate. Alongside the cast just being so like kind to each other, like there was one day where I basically had worked like for a really long time. Like I don't remember exactly what I did, but I think it was like really early on the week. I had a really rough weekend and then had to like work like 12 hours on set again and yada yada. Didn't get a lot of sleep, and I like had fainted on set, or like my vision was going blurry at the very least. I don't actually remember if I fainted or not, and I was feeling super duper nauseous. And so they ended up taking me to the ER after speaking with the set medic. I don't know, just like that day, everyone noticed that I was gone. When I came back, everyone mentioned like, we noticed that you were gone. We hope you're feeling okay. Like, let's just make sure that like we're taking care of each other and we're staying healthy. And so a lot of people were just like very ready to just like make sure that I was like taken care of. And my supervisor especially felt really, really bad. He was like, am I overworking you? And I was like, no. It's like all of the other stuff that I have going on. He was like, okay, well, make sure you take breaks, make sure you like sit down wherever you can. And he like even like blended me some stuff and he was like, you should drink this, you'll have your energy back. And I don't know, everyone on set just had a level of like care for each other, and that was really, really nice. I'm sure like everyone has seen like the BTS from ATX FX, who was the head of SFX, like special effects, for Iron Lung. He mentioned that a lot of times on larger productions, you'll receive like wrap gifts. In my lifetime, I have only ever really received wrap gifts from 3 productions, which isn't a lot, but I'm literally only 25 at the time of this video, so like it's still a lot considering like my age, I feel like. But I got a wrap gift from basically every department, and it is so, so cool to have received that, and it is so cool that everyone felt inspired to have a wrap gift for like everyone. I don't know, it just felt very special, and I felt like I was very incorporated and welcomed into the crew despite my age, despite joining late, and despite like only being a crafty PA. And I keep saying like only a PA or something, but honestly, production assistants are like the backbone of productions because they will do things that a lot of people don't want to do. A lot of times production assistants are unfortunately unfairly taken advantage of. Like, they're just the underappreciated heroes, and unfortunately sometimes some PAs will see themselves as like lesser than, and so they'll act as if they're lesser than like other like crew members and stuff. My biggest advice for people who are going into filmmaking and are like kind of worried about being a PA or don't really want to be a PA, honestly, being a PA is where 1, you get humbled, and 2, you have to put your ego aside to become likable enough for other people, and then if they like you enough, they will take a chance on you. Unfortunately, this industry isn't purely based on talent. You do have to network around to like get into places. And so being likable is the best way for you to be networking. I'm trying to think of like what else I'm going to talk about because there were so many stories from being on set. Oh, I could talk about like the traditions that we had on set, because when we were filming, we had like set traditions. Every Wednesday or so, it was me, the crafty PA, Ima, who is the stills slash BTS photographer, and then Kristen, who is the second AD. The 3 of us, maybe sometimes we would try to loop in another person or something, but it was mostly the 3 of us, would shotgun a Red Bull at least once a week. Usually it was on Wednesdays. And the funny part is, Kristen cannot like shotgun a Red Bull for the life of her. But me and Ima are like the 2 fastest. Ima is actually the person that has pushed me to be kind of competitive in it, in a sense. And I learned how to shotgun my Red Bull in like less than a second. At one point, we shotgunned a Red Bull and she goes,
You're the only person who can keep up.
and I was like,
Really?
But yeah, set traditions like that were so funny. At the end of every week, every Friday, we would have like a like costume day. And so we would have days like goth day, or we would have like school picture day, which is where all of the pictures from like the credits in at the end of the movie came from. That's why you see Adrian wearing literally a stole, like a UTA stole, and you see me wearing like my VSA stole in it, because I had that sitting around in the back of my car because I was freshly graduated and I still had not put my cap and gown away. On the last like wrap Friday, the theme for that day was like bloody, because we were basically like doing everything like chronologically, and it was just like the end of it all. Like, it was just super duper bloody. There have just been like so many like little moments of happiness from my time being on that set, and I am just so proud of the fact that like I was able to work on such a phenomenal set, and that set my expectations so high for a filmmaker. I'm just really glad and appreciative that this was my first union set, and especially my first union set straight out of like college even. I don't know, I think I just got really, really lucky with all the people that I met and the opportunities that I had, because it truly set me up for success later on down the road. And it's really made me who I am today, as a filmmaker and as a person. If you were part of the crew and you stumbled upon my little rinky dink video, I just wanted to I don't know, just thank y'all for making my first time being on a union set so special. And I really appreciate getting to know each and every single one of you. I still remember the majority of your crafty needs. I remember a lot. And I'm just very appreciative to have the opportunity to work with masters of your crafts. And I hope we get to work again sometime soon in the future, except hopefully I won't just be a crafty PA. Hopefully I will be working as a production coordinator or first AD whenever we meet again. I guess to Mark and Amy, if they stumbled across this video, I just want them to know how great of a leader they both were. It was honestly an honor working for y'all, and I would very gladly do it again. But yeah, just thank you so much for treating the crew with kindness and respect and putting your trust in all the crew, and I hope we get to meet again soon. Bye.